Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our Week 5 FCS Wraparound, where we're going to go across the country to take a look at some of the key games this week in the FCS. But first, let's start off in the MEAC with the Howard Bison take on the North Carolina A&T Aggies.
First up, we have a big game taking place in the MEAC between Howard and North Carolina A&T. And for Howard, their linebacker to Brian Resby has been playing some excellent football so far this season for a surprising Bison defense. Now for North Carolina A&T, head coach Ron Broadway has done a phenomenal job. This is a team that's undefeated, and they have one of the best defenses in the FCS. I think they take care of business at home tonight versus Howard, which should be a classic game between two outstanding programs. Big battle in the Pioneer League as both Drake and Mercer kick off conference play, and Drake's offense finally came to life last week versus Indianapolis. And was that the aberration, or was that what we're going to see moving forward? And for Mercer, this is a new program that's off to a 3-0 start, and this is their first FCS game, and they've had back-to-back shutouts. I think they keep the momentum going. I think they knock off Drake in what will be a shocker in the Pioneer League. Classic matchup in the Ohio Valley Conference between Eastern Illinois and Eastern Kentucky. Now defensively, the Colonels will have to compete for all 4 quarters. Their offense can't score, but they have to slow down what Eastern Illinois brings to the table. And for the Panthers, they were so close to the upset over Northern Illinois last week that they actually had a 20-6 lead in the first quarter. I think they rebound, knock off the Colonels, and move forward in OVC play. Jacksonville travels to Butler to take on the Bulldogs, and back-to-back 60 burgers Jacksonville put on opponents. And will they be able to stop the Bulldogs passing game? We know the Bulldogs can throw the football all over the stadium. I'll be interested to see their secondary. And for Butler, I'm a big fan of quarterback Matt Lancaster, excellent quarterback at the FCS level. He must find ways to get that ground game going in order for these guys to have success. But I like Jacksonville in this ball game. I think they travel on the road very well, and that defense is very good this season. Montana State travels to North Dakota, and the Bobcats defense had a brain fart moment last week versus Stephen F. Austin, but you can't put it all on the defensive side of the football. Quarterback Jake Bleskin threw 4 interceptions. That's going to put any defense in a bad situation. And for North Dakota, I was disappointed in how flat they came out last week offensively versus Montana. This is a team that can really put points on the board. I do believe the Bobcats go on the road and knock off North Dakota. I think last week was a defensive aberration. They'll get back to what they do well, and that's shutting you down offensively. Huge game in Philadelphia this week between Penn and Villanova. And for Penn, quarterback Billy Ragon was excellent last week. This is a guy that does a very good job at the quarterback position, runs a very efficient offense, and they play sound defense as well due to Quakers. And for Villanova, color me shocked at how well they dominated Stony Brook last week. They really shut down what the Seawolves did on offense. They really clogged up those running lanes and forced those guys to throw the football, and it generated turnovers constantly. I like Villanova to win this ball game. This team has a look of a team that can go far in the FCS this season. Big game in the SWAC this week as ALCORN State takes on Alabama State. And for the Braves, they're playing some very good football so far. They'll kill you with the ground game, and their third down defense is very good. I mean, they really get you off the field. Now for Alabama State, they're a couple of plays away from being 4-0, not games, plays. They're that close to being undefeated, and talented tailback Isaiah Crowell leads the way. But I'm worried about their defense. They give up a lot of yards, and they also falter in the red zone. I like ALCORN in this game to go on the road and knock off the Hornets. Chattanooga takes on Georgia Southern this week, and for the Mocs, this is a big-time test. They open up SoCon play, and I love their defense. They can really get after the quarterback. They haven't really played anybody this year, but their defense is still very good. Now for Georgia Southern, they're going to be critically thin at the running back position, and they may have to pull a red shirt off of 1 or 2 guys just to have enough backs in the backfield. But I still believe as long as Derek McKinnon is back there and that option attack is potent, they'll do enough to knock off the Mocs this week. The Grizzlies travel to Flagstaff to take on Northern Arizona in a key Big Sky Conference battle. And for the Grizzlies, they've looked so dominant so far this season, especially on defense. That has been a surprise so far. And for Northern Arizona, they have an excellent defense, but at some point, their passing game will have to step up and make plays and join the rest of the football team. This is a revenge game. The Lumberjacks went into Missoula last year and knocked off the Grizzlies. Can the Grizzlies return the favor by traveling down to Flagstaff? I don't think so. I like Northern Arizona. They understand they have to win every game in order to make the playoffs. They got snubbed last year, so I like the Lumberjacks to take care of business at home. What could possibly be the game of the week between two outstanding programs, James Madison takes on Delaware. And for the Dukes, no one is talking about James Madison. They're a serious contender in the CAA as well as in the FCS. And for Delaware, there's a lot of speed on both sides of the ball. Once again, one of the premier programs in the FCS. I love what they do up front defensively, and they can really run the rock with Andrew Pierce. But I like James Madison in this ballgame defensively. They're stout linebacker. Stephon Robertson is one of the best linebackers in the country, regardless of division. And finally, we're going to wrap up out west as Cal Poly takes on Portland State. And for Cal Poly, the offense just doesn't look as potent as it has in recent memory, and their third down offense right now is atrocious. Now for Portland State, they could be sitting at 4-0 right now. They actually can get after the quarterback. I've been highly impressed with their defense, but this week versus Cal Poly's option attack, you have to play with discipline in order to get these guys off the field. But I like Portland State in this ball game. Like I said before, defensively they can get pressure, they can clog the middle, and I think they do a great job at home knocking off the Mustangs. And I want to send a huge shout out to all of our FCS sponsors, championshipsubdivision.com, egriz.com, great fans out there in Montana, anygivensaturday.com, join their forums as well, collegesportsjournal.com, a great sponsor, and catfans.com. We love the Sam Houston State Bearcats fans for showing us support as well, and collegesportingnews.com for always showing football game plan as well as the FCS tremendous support.